Kingston on your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you, when you're doing yard work, safety matters. If you use a ladder, be aware of overhead electric lines, including the service wire that runs to your house. Even wooden ladders can conduct electricity with dangerous results. And be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a swimming pool, and you're working with skimmers, brooms, or other long-handled tools. Central Hudson wishes you a safe summer.
Long ago, you wouldn't think of galloping on a horse while doing calligraphy, and you wouldn't have attempted to ride your bike while typing a letter. Yet you think you can safely operate a multi-ton vehicle while texting? Behind the wheel is no place to multitask. If you want to BRB, drive now and text later. Lives depend on it.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lovezzo. I'm from Lake Katrine, and I support Kingston Community Radio because it is an invaluable resource to the community and its residents.
This programming is brought to you by the Friends of Kevin Cahill. As a strong advocate of local broadcasting, Assemblymember Cahill urges you to support Kingston Community Radio with your time and donations. Your contributions keep KCR vital and on the air at FM 92.5, AM 920, and on the web at mykcr.org. Please join Assemblymember Cahill and send your gifts of $10, $25, or more to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. Together, let's keep KCR alive.
All right, folks, this is Thunder Thursday, Flash.
Ba-ba-ba-boom!
Right,
Happy Thursday!
Yeah, happy Thursday.
Strolling into the weekend.
Yeah, nice. Everything's kind of looking good out there-ish, all right? Things getting kind of, sort of, maybe back to normal.
Kind of, sort of?
Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah, still a little. But I've been to a number of events now that, very few masks, a lot of outside events. So,
I actually, last weekend, we were in Pennsylvania for my daughter's AAU tournament right outside of Philly. And we've been to tournaments every weekend pretty much for the last 2 months. And last weekend, it was like a light switch.
Right.
None of the players had masks. None of the parents had masks. There was no limit on spectators. It was really weird how...
And where
all
was
of
this
a
again?
sudden, King of Prussia, outside of
PA.
Philly.
Yeah,
PA, yeah. So it was, it was a hot weekend.
Good friends there.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some
Rotary friends. Yeah, I was down there not too long ago.
Yeah, good. Well, it was a good weekend for
They
basketball
don't say,
players.
oh, by the way, they just say King Prussia.
King Prussia?
Yeah, that's it.
Clearly, I'm not a local.
Yeah, you got to know the local jargon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're headed down to, I think we missed our granddaughter's birthday yesterday. I just, June 9th, I forgot.
And I totally forgot
right?
until you told me that birthday this morning.
Oh, Lord love a duck.
Lord love a duck.
So I just texted her now, and I hope.
Oh man, I'm saying we're going down to Long Island this weekend to celebrate it, but the actual day, our anniversary was the 8th, and
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, and Isla's birthday is the 9th, and
How old is she?
2.
Well, then she won't remember.
She was
like 15. You were in trouble.
No. Yeah, I guess we should have FaceTimed her, though. That probably would have been a smart idea. All right. Well, we're not, we're kind of sort of still new grandparents.
Yeah. We're still figuring this out.
Right. Yeah. So, but, all is good. I wanted to, last week I think I ended the show by talking about doing random acts of kindness for people. Just as a general good thing, good idea. Whenever you can, whatever it is, if you can do something, even if it's something as simple as
Especially these days. I feel like everybody has so much added stress from everything going on.
Yeah. So anyway, I was in Stewart's in Port Ewan, and I just gotten some cash out of the ATM, not there, but at Rondout Savings Bank, and I had put the cash in the truck, and I go in. I had to pick up a carton of milk and some half and half. So I go in there, get my stuff, reach for my money, no money, right? No money. It's in the truck. So I say to the person there, I said, I'm just going to run out to my car, get it. The lady in front of me who works at Iron Mountain, really, she had just stepped aside to do her, put her money back in her purse and all that good stuff. She said, "Sir, I got this. I got this."
Oh, that's sweet.
Said, "I got you on this one." And so she hands the person and the cashier a 20, and she said, all I want you to do is pay it forward.
Oh, that's
Just pay it
awesome. I
forward.
love that.
So I go out to I was like, I was just talking about this.
Yes.
And
She must have heard you. She
Yeah,
must
and
be a
so
listener.
yeah, it must be. And so I went out to the truck and I stopped her on the way out. I said, can you roll down the window? I said, look, I've been talking about this on the radio. I'm on Kingston Community Radio. So I said, what's your name? I'm going to give you a shout out because I think that was really cool what you did. So her name is Benincasa. Her dad's name was Ben. Her mom's name was Nina. They
That's so
couldn't figure out a name exactly, so they made Benincasa.
That's
so
so
I want to
cool. I
give
love
Benincasa
that.
a shout out. She works at Iron Mountain. Thank you very much, and made my day, made my week. It was really, really a cool event. So go out and do that for somebody. Maybe $5-6, or help somebody at Lowe's or Home Depot if they're unloading stuff or putting stuff in. Just to offer. So that's my random act of kindness. Here's my quick rant, and then we can get to Concern Kingston. So the Ulster County Italian American Foundation picks up around the Cloverleaf on 9W, picks up trash, garbage, that's what we do, by the firehouse, at Delaware Avenue overpass, right? I am, and there's a whole crew of folks that did it from the organization maybe 6 weeks ago. I am like amazed on how people think the world is their garbage can. Just
That's
roll
so
the window
disheartening.
down and throw that
Yeah.
SH right out the window.
Yeah.
So we picked up probably 2 bags after they had just done a bunch. They must maybe got 12 or 14 bags out of it, which is a lot because all winter it had built up.
Yeah.
But so, now I come this way, I go that way to work. So, we did this Sunday morning. By today,
It's full again.
not full, but it's, people just decide, well, I'm too lazy to throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
I'm too lazy to, do anything but roll the window down and fling it out.
Yeah.
And occasionally some construction stuff falls off of trucks, and you can understand that, but whatever, cardboard, this, that, the other thing. But probably the biggest thing we picked up, masks.
Okay.
Not as many cigarette boxes as used to.
Yeah. Well, they're probably
what
vaping
else?
now.
Yeah, vaping, right. A lot of fast food stuff. Some fast food meals. They just decide to throw the whole meal out the window. I mean, I'm like,
Must have been really bad food.
no, I don't know. So
I'm not trying to make light of a
we were
bad
picking up
situation, but
French fries.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting to see what people toss. But it's just, just put it in a keep it in your car until you get to a place.
Right.
A lot of gas stations have receptacles. Don't throw stuff out the window, please. I beg you. Don't. Bottles, beer bottles, another big favorite, beer
Yeah.
bottles, So we can tell what, that you don't have to ask Google, just ask us what people are throwing, what they're consuming.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they're
Yeah, they're
consuming
consuming.
because we're picking up trash. Anyway, that's my rant.
yeah. And you know what the thing about that is the next generation, the kids are watching.
Right,
So
exactly.
you don't want them seeing
Yeah,
that and
it's
thinking that's
acceptable.
okay. Yeah. Have some respect. So, yeah, that's disappointing. Where actually it's usually bad is, and it wasn't this year, is when you go up Frank Satile Boulevard on the sides there. I usually at the end of winter, it's like a garbage can, but I don't remember seeing it bad there this year.
COVID?
So maybe they threw it on Delaware Avenue.
It came to the Cloverleaf.
Yeah,
and
they
threw
came
it there.
through yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so what's happening with Concern Kingston? I know there's a lot going on in the community with the police situation.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm really excited. I think we've got some good stuff coming. One of the things that we members of Concerned Kingston, which if you're listening and you haven't heard of Concerned Kingston was a group that was formed for community members who have been concerned with the recent violence in the city. And we've been meeting with officials, and we've had pop-ups and all this been going on for the last
so some
9
dialogue
months.
happening. Some dialogue happening.
So one of the topics that consistently comes up and has been asked by many of our members and in meetings with officials and just all over is the street cameras and where are the street cameras, because as you know, we used to have these street cameras, now they're broken, and they weren't fixed. So I think my argument with street cameras has always been the police can't be everywhere. Right. On top of that, you have bail reform, which there's a layer of bail reform that takes away some of the protection against witnesses.
Right.
So I truly feel that's contributing to a lot of the reason why we have some of these unsolved murders, because people are scared to come out when their identity is not going to be protected. And you also have people that are shooting
Randomly.
open in the street, right?
Yeah.
So if you have undisclosed locations of cameras,
Right.
if I'm not gonna shoot in the middle of the street if I know I'm on camera, right? So, and I know Dan Gruner, when you were out the one day, and Dan Gruner was here, and we had Officer Brian Aiken, and he had spoken about several years ago, about 20 years ago, the mayor of Beacon. They were in the same situation wherein mayor came on and said, "Smile, you're on camera."
Right.
And Beacon is thriving today.
Yeah.
It really turned the city around. So what I'm getting at is, I got a couple of phone calls the other day that the chief is asking for money for cameras.
Great.
Which
Good
is
news.
great news. As I understand it, they're still getting, still trying to get, they're still waiting for the quotes so they can figure out how many to ask for. The reason why I bring this up is if you're listening, I think what's important here is that already there's this buzz. People are against this already. They don't want it. And, and these are the same people, listen, they don't want the cops, they don't want them pulling people over, they don't want,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Same.
Well, listen, if you're not going to pull people over and it's invasive, then here's something
They don't want
where...
SROs.
Right, they don't want SROs, they don't want...
They want a lawless society. Let
Right.
people take care of their own stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Great.
And I think a lot of it, I think their argument is privacy, but these are public streets.
How about
They're
public safety? Where's
And how- right.
where does the boundary cross between public safety and privacy? And these are pretty much random. I'll say random. Someone gets hit by an unintended
Victim.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what about public safety?
Right.
I'm sorry.
What's the priority? Right.
I mean, they're not putting cameras in your bedroom.
I know.
They're putting cameras in a public street
Right.
for public safety.
Right.
Isn't it the same thing as public health? I mean,
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I mean, if you're against that, then it's
Leave.
Yeah, I mean, go to some place that either whatever. I mean, but I think that's the first order of business. People are entitled to be safe in their community, right?
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry. Health, good health, be safe, schools, healthcare.
Everybody thrives.
Everybody thrives. I mean, I don't get it. And by the way, it's, I don't know, it's, what are you hiding? I mean, if there's a camera on a public street, what private act are you going to
I
be
know.
doing on a public street?
And you must have an interesting life. I want to hang out with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, you're walking, you're jogging. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
You're riding a bike.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, interestingly enough, my business, we have heavy trucks all over kind of the Northeast, and I've gotten a ticket in the mail. I know it's happened, I think in New Jersey, and I want to say actually one was me. I will say.
Yeah.
And it's, turning right on red where it was a no right on red and, being out of the area you didn't know. And it says right on the ticket, go online, here's a link to the video. And I pull it up and you're like, no, SH, no. And there's the license plate and there's Val turning right on red and, So
I'm
they're all
surprised
over.
more of that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Send your
You know?
$50. Hey, it's a good. It's a
Yeah.
good. So my point is they're all over.
Right.
So I guess
There's a lot in Europe, by the way, too. We got,
Really?
when we were in Europe, in Germany, I got a ticket. I mean, and that was like in German. I
Yeah,
swear to God, they
yeah.
sent the ticket in German. I had to have it interpreted. What did I do? And I had to send the money.
I think my parents had that happen. I can't remember what country it was in. It may have been Germany,
Mm-hmm.
but and it was some kind of a, I don't know if it was
It was a red
parking
light.
ticket
It was
or
a red-
whatever.
Mine was a red light. And I knew I wasn't, beat red. I mean, it was just like, just there. I said, "Ooh, I think they're going to get me."
Yeah.
And like 2 months later, in the mail pops.
Here it go. That was a lot of postage
And
for
I'm
that
trying
ticket.
to think.
Yeah.
I think it might have come through Avis. We're the car rental place. 'Cause
Yeah.
Otherwise.
That's what my parents got
Yeah.
correspondence from the car rental place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
my point about going back to the cameras is if you're listening, we've only have one chance to get this right. So this is going to go before the finance committee. They have to approve this. Listen, we're spending money all over the place on bicycle lanes and
we get
everything else,
a ton of
parks
money from
and
the federal government too.
we're getting, I think, $18 million from the federal government. So if you're listening and you live in Kingston, you work in Kingston, your kids go to school in Kingston, you're concerned about safer streets, please pick up the phone, reach out to your alderman, email, reach out to all the aldermen, reach out to the mayor, whoever that may be, reach out to all of them because, there's rumblings that the aunties
Yeah.
are reaching out. So it's really important. And then there are a small group of people, but they're very loud. And it's really important that for our children's sake that
Right.
our voices are heard because
Right.
we need this.
What older person is not for public safety? Who? On the Common Council, are there any of those folks that say, you know what? I don't think we need any law enforcement.
Well, I think
I think all of them are.
There were 3 council members that voted against the license plate readers.
Really?
Yep. Because
Why?
of privacy.
Privacy. Okay. Why, they have a private license plate or something? Or they're places that they shouldn't be? They're places that they... Right?
You're talking common sense to
No,
me.
I'm sorry, if you're,
like
if
a
you're
big
not breaking the law, then why would
conspiracy
anybody care?
Yeah.
If you're breaking
I
the law,
must-
it's a
yeah.
different story.
I must live a very boring life.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's a good point. I mean, there's always a group of folks that are against whatever it is, the project.
They're well organized.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So this is kind of a common sense thing in my mind. I guess there are folks obviously that are really super concerned about their own privacy. They should live in the mountains somewhere.
That's it. Then don't live in the
just
city.
Don't live with
Yeah.
other people.
There's no privacy
So,
here. Yeah.
it's like, so everyone needs to coexist. Everybody should be kind of being willing to communicate, meet in the middle somewhere. I'll express my view, you express yours. We're not going to get the fingers out and point at each other.
Right.
We're going to have a civil dialogue and discourse about what the issue is.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And then the lawmakers make the decision, and if we don't like the lawmakers, we get new ones.
Right.
That's it.
See, yep.
I mean, that's how it's
Yep,
supposed
that's
to go
simple.
anyway.
I know. Somewhere along the way, we made it difficult.
Yeah, Jefferson, Adams, all those folks kind of sound like Scott Harrington.
Yeah.
Right?
So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm sure you've seen that's gotten a lot of buzz and is kind of a controversial topic, is this armored rescue vehicle. Have you read about this?
I have not. Oh, yeah, I think I have. The city has one, right?
The city has one. They're looking to replace it. And I called to get some answers from somebody who would know because trying to kind of understand what the controversy is all about. So this is something that would be shared by Town of Ulster and Kingston Police Department. It would be replacing an old one. I think it's like they're getting a used one. It's $160,000. Kingston's portion is $100,000. It's 100% of it is a grant through Homeland Security. So just so you know, this is something. This is a civilian vehicle. It's not a decommissioned military. Vehicle. It's not going to be used for patrols. This is an emergency
like a
services unit for like
SWAT thing.
If there's listen, mass shooting. That's one
Yeah.
of the things. Every day, I get an alert on my phone that there's a mass shooting somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
There's been a lot of them.
Every day. Mass shooting, or let's say open air shooter. Let's say there's an innocent victim on the ground, and you're in the middle. I mean, you're in the middle of the shooting. In order to physically get that person out of there and get them the medical attention they need. So this is one of only 20 vehicles in the state. It's a shared resource. So that's where a lot of the grant money comes from, in that it is a shared resource. And we would have one of 20.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't understand.
What's the issue? The issue is that Kingston wants to buy one, and there's some...
I guess the
negative
issue is the whole military, because it's an armored car, it looks military. I don't know.
Right.
I think another argument it is, when's our last mass shooting? Why are we spending our money on this? Again, it's Kingston's portion is I don't know what's going on with Town of Ulster, but City of Kingston, it's a grant from Homeland Security, and they're recommending this. This is coming from them, so it's better to be prepared, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And listen, if we don't get it, there's probably going to be another area. At the end of the day, I'm assuming they're going to want 20 in the state. So wouldn't it be great for us to have it locally and get that grant money and have it close to home?
Once upon a time, when I was running Kingston Hospital, we used to do, as a requirement from the state health department, we would do disaster planning. And come up with different scenarios of what would happen. I don't care if it's a railroad event, or a bus disaster where a number of casualties, some kind of chemical leak. There were different scenarios, and we would plan, pretty much on a tabletop exercise. But here's our plan for this.
Sounds like a Grey's Anatomy episode.
Well, no, yeah, right.
Hey, wherever he shows up.
I know. I'm the corny administrator there, the guy that's they always make the administrators nerdy, on those shows. All the hunky guys are doctors.
Yeah. McDreamy, McSteamy.
They make the administrator bald guy, short, little fat bald guy. So anyway.
You got a lot of hair, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm okay so far.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my point is, isn't that what our city officials should be doing, is making sure that the city, again, is safe, do some scenario planning, have equipment, have what you need to keep the community safe, because mass shootings are like
a thing right now.
I mean, it's come on,
Yeah.
I forget, it was like 12 or something in a short period of time in the country, all over the place. Weapons are available. People are on edge from the COVID and not having a job, or
They're happening
whatever.
at birthday parties.
Right.
I mean,
it's just the city has got all kinds of mass shootings. I mean, the Memorial Weekend, I think there were like 6 in New York City. So, I mean, to me, I like the fact that officials are trying to keep us safe and do the best they can within reason. And if that thing sits in the ground for a while, but the one day we need to use it, it saves lives.
Right.
What money was ever spent was absolutely worth it. So,
right. Well, and if they're not
sorry.
going to use it here, they're going to use it somewhere else.
Yeah, the town of Ulster, right, exactly.
Yeah, so let's...
Yeah, so that's a great idea. I want to...
So, yeah, get in touch with your, again, because...
Alderperson, yeah.
Alderperson, and
Yeah.
make sure you support that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, people need to get... And a lot of us sit on the sidelines, and I get that. You don't want to get involved for whatever reason. That's a little bit now human nature has coming, that there's activists on both sides.
Extreme activists.
Yeah, extreme activists, and the people in the middle do nothing.
I know.
So, we say, okay, well, fine, yeah, that's just the way they go. Oh, aren't taxes high? Oh, yeah. Isn't this bad? And that's it.
Yeah, I know, and I
All
think...
that kitchen bitching, they just in the
I like
kitchen
that.
saying,
That kitchen bitching.
yeah. So, that's it. Pick up the phone, call your alderman. If you see, the older people they live with us, by the way.
Yeah.
You see them in bars and restaurants, and go up to them and say, hey, we need your vote on this.
Yeah.
Or if you know them personally, pick up the phone, send them an email or her an email, and say, hey, here's our feelings. Because they get feedback from the negatives.
And I think,
or whatever's Yeah.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is, and I think you're right, because I think at the end of the day, most of them are reasonable people who want to do the right thing, and they're only hearing from, not to be disrespectful, but the crazies on the extremists.
Right.
And so I think it makes their job easier when they know that they have the support of everybody in the middle. And I think this day and age, people in the middle are afraid to say something because immediately you're labeled as something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's so many labels out there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's absolutely true, and more efforts should be undertaken to get folks that are, right of center, left of center. I don't care where you are, but not extreme right, extreme left in terms of, your philosophies, because it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't represent the majority of the people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's it's a small group of people that have, loud mouths and big bullhorns and
demands.
Yeah, trying to sway elected officials and
a lot of bullying too.
Well, yeah. Let's talk quickly about our. Let's see. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the Happy Christmas Fund. Yes.
Hey, in June. Happy Christmas in June.
Right. Happy Christmas. It's coming in November. I know we don't know which time away, but a Happy Christmas Fund and also a benefit for KCR. So we've had great success in the past on the Happy Christmas Fund, and but now this year we're going to combine it with a benefit for KCR as well. I mean, it's primarily for Happy Christmas Fund, but the only way Happy Christmas Fund happens, Lawrence, is because KCR is on the air. Correct?
Right, and without one, we can't have the other.
Correct. So it's important that we're going to celebrate and help both. If I can find our underwriters on here, I'm going to just shout them out real quick.
And that way we don't have to run other radiothons throughout the year. We just do the one in November.
Shot, one and done.
Which is always
good news.
First Thursday in
November. Yep,
2
November
days
4th.
after election.
It's going to be the November 4th.
So this year it's November 4th.
Right. So we want to thank our underwriters, the Lions Club Foundation, Rondout Savings Bank, Central Hudson. John Maserjian is going to be on at 7:30. Herzog's.
Val.
The Jordan family. Well, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm reading down the list.
Clearly, it's not in alphabetical order.
No, it's just it's jumbled.
Maybe we got to fix that.
It's jumbled.
That's okay.
Friends of Kevin Cahill, Ulster Savings Bank, Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, Ulster Federal Credit Union, La Cunard Enchaîné, Norman Staffing, and Harold. I said that right?
You said that right. Enchaîné. You know what La Cunard Enchaîné is?
I would have just left that off.
I don't know. It's a duck, isn't it?
La Cunard Enchaîné is a newspaper in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I never knew that.
It's like Mad Magazine.
If you go into the bathroom at La Cunard, you will see the.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering why.
It's on the wall.
La Cunard is such a beautiful restaurant inside.
It is.
It really
as long as they have the air conditioner on. That's
Yeah. And Arrow Construction. Which is usually where the Z's are. We have.
It's like
I need to add Nacarado on insurance.
Oh, Nacarado Insurance. Yes, thank you, Lawrence.
Yes, to add that
John Nacarado, and thank you to Raleigh Green. Yep, we're so we're doing.
I'll do that at the break.
We'll do that at the break. Great. So so otherwise the world is kind of sort of. Okay.
That's so funny. You were going to say okay. I was going to say upside down.
Well, it's glass half full. Yeah. But you're a glass half full person too.
I am a glass. I am a glass.
But there's always some kind of issue that's out there lurking. But just got to go and do good things. Keep doing good things for folks.
It's contagious.
It is
when
contagious.
you do good things, it's very contagious.
Positivity is contagious, and the random act of kindness. Benina. If Benina didn't pay for my milk and half and half, I would have had to go out, get extra steps in. Go get my money, come back, hold up the line.
Yep.
She said, "I got you covered."
That's awesome, and I think.
And what she said was,
"Yeah,
pay it forward."
Pay it forward. Yep.
That
happens a lot at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, and
pay for the person in back.
And it really is a great way to start your day when somebody does that.
Yeah.
And talk about this isn't really a random act of kindness, but it kind of goes along with being a role model for other people, other cities, other municipalities, other communities. With there's been a lot of social media videos, pictures of the police officers that are now walking the beat. And you see them interacting with, the Midtown, the kids out in the streets, and, kind of the community that really needs the healing with the police
Right.
force. And I think that's great and I hope that other communities will be a role model for them.
So don't you think, what happens, and then we got to go to break in a little bit, pendulum swings,
Pendulum's going to break off.
It's going to...
That's what I keep saying.
Right, but it swings, over a decade or over a period of time. It's like, oh my gosh, there's too much police influence. Police are horrible. To, oh my God, the police are community resources. It just goes back and forth based on whatever tensions are going on and whatever crazy people, in every profession, by the way, every profession. Yeah. There's crazy contractors. There's crazy staffing people.
Yeah, I'm looking at one.
There's crazy lawyers. There's So, come on. It doesn't reflect the entire society, period. So
don't judge people based on the uniform they wear.
Or one, renegade person that's doing something that should be punishable by jail, period. That's why we have laws. So anyway, and the last thing is don't throw trash out the window.
Don't throw trash out the window.
Do not do that. Do not do. I'll make a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
All right, Lawrence, take it away.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Swimming pools are great for family fun, and Central Hudson wants you to play it safe. Never operate an electric appliance next to or in the pool. Be sure pool motors and filters are grounded. Have them installed by a professional and serviced by a licensed professional electrician. Be very careful if there are electric lines above or near a pool, especially if using long-handled cleaning tools. And if a storm is nearby, get out of the water. Your safety matters.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? By shifting to a system that gives more patients access to strong primary care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
Screening exams for breast, lung, or colorectal cancers are necessary to detect and treat disease at its earliest, most curable stage. But you may have some concerns and questions. Answer your questions and ease your fears by visiting radiologyinfo.org. In addition to information on screening and wellness, you'll find more than 200 descriptions of radiologic exams, procedures, and treatments to help you prepare. Get informed and be prepared. Visit radiologyinfo.org, produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Hi, this is Jared Mans from the Spring Lake Fire Department, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio has been brought to you by the First Savings Bank in Ulster County that still remains local to this day. Ulster Savings Bank, a community bank that's invested in local business, invested in community, invested in you. Ulster Savings Bank, your one-stop resource for everything local. Locations throughout the Hudson Valley and online at ulstersavings.com. Member FDIC.
All right, folks, we're back. This is Thunder Thursday. Flash. Flash and boom. We got our, what can John be in that whole thing, that sequence? Flash, boom, and how about
I hope
lightning?
There's no flash and
Lightning.
boom.
Oh, you can be lightning because of
I hope there's...
John, do you want to be lightning? John Maserjian from Central Hudson?
Would you? Sure, I'll do lightning.
He sounds so enthused.
John, a little bit more enthusiasm.
Yeah. He's like, lightning? Yeah, that's not good in my industry.
Lightning, I don't know.
Boom, zap. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So what's happening? Are you okay? Everything good in your world?
Everything's good in my world. Thank you. I hope the same for you guys.
Yep. We're both on our third cup of coffee, so that's
summer here, and very excited to be out and about and enjoy the outdoors. This is I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's good. What's happening? You live in the Poughkeepsie area, correct?
I do, yes.
Yeah. It's what's happening? How's the great city of Poughkeepsie doing?
Last night, I think.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I think I said there's storms that came through last night in the Kingston area. I understand.
Oh, right.
What? Oh, yeah. I was actually.
I was up north. We didn't get it up north.
We were up in Kinderhook. Leanne and I were up in Kinderhook, and that it was really cool. We were in a place where you could kind of see it coming and going. I mean, it was really.
I was heading up the thruway, and it was kind of It was.
Any outages, John, out of that one?
A tree fell on the line in the Kingston area, so we did have some outages with it. That's why I mentioned it. But,
yeah.
I think this is going to be the last of the storms for a few days. So
okay.
We'll take it.
All right. Central Hudson should do its own weather show.
Well, in fact, did you know? That we partnered with Hudson Valley Weather.
Oh, I didn't.
And they're a great local weather service.
Yes, they are.
And we developed a chart that shows the confidence in the prediction of a storm.
Yeah.
The severity of the storm and the number of predicted outages, whether it's going to be low, medium, or catastrophic.
Right.
And they've been really great to work with. So we're incorporating their information with all of our public weather alerts. Again, a great local weather forecasting service that's got a great reputation.
We should try to get him on the radio. Maybe you have a contact in there. Maybe he'll come on your segment next month. That'd be cool.
Okay.
That would be really cool. Get them on. They have 146,000 likes on Facebook.
That's crazy.
146,000.
It's crazy.
You have 4,000. I think
good.
I think that's great. Yeah, that's amazing. And Hudson Valley Weather. It's and they're local folks, right? I think they're somewhat local folks.
Yep. Born and bred in the Hudson Valley. They know this area very, very well, and they give a very local forecast because at times we'll hear what's going on in the Albany area or the New York area, and we get we're on the fringes of their forecast area. Yeah. But this center is right here in the Hudson Valley, and it's accurate. It's very good. So,
Well, look, we've had enough storms over the last 10 years. Some big storms, some hurricanes coming through. Yeah. So it's not like we're impervious to all that stuff. It does happen.
No. Unfortunately, we are not.
We got to be, and people never think about it. They never really try to get ready for it. I mean, it's no one has any. We were talking about, scenario planning before. I would guess Central Hudson does a ton of that in terms of, how do we react to this or how do we react to that or what's,
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a storm plan or an emergency plan that we have to file with New York State. It's updated every year. But it gives different steps we take depending on the severity of the storm, the forecast, who we contact, what resources we put into place when we start looking for mutual aid. Many times we'll start looking for help before the storm arrives because we know it's going to be a big one, and we want the help's got to be here as soon as the storm passes through. So. There's a whole set of protocols, but I mean that only makes sense.
I think we're due for a hurricane this year.
Yeah, don't say that.
What's that?
No, even families should have plans.
Yeah, exactly.
Of what to do.
Exactly. How do you get out of the house? Where do you go? What's the escape routes? Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's
right.
I mean, I think Hurricane Irene was the last big one in 2012. It was my recollection
because Sandy was before that, right?
Sandy was before that. It was like 2010 maybe or something like that. But I was working down in New Jersey, running a nursing home down there, and they got hit worse than we did in that one. And I had to get all the gas stations down there on 17 and Paramus area were closed.
Yeah, wow, that's scary.
For days, and staff and running a nursing home, staff couldn't get to the facility. So we had to figure out a way to I got gas up here and brought it down in 5-gallon cans,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was, and so our staff could have gasoline.
Yeah,
It was,
that's scary.
That was a scary ride going down in the pickup truck with like about 25
really
5-gallon cans.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like,
Middle of a windstorm.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. I can just imagine.
Yeah. No,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah,
So, go ahead.
I think service stations are now required to have backup generators so that they can operate their pumps.
Yeah,
I think that came out as a result of those storms.
Well, that's good.
Which makes sense, of course.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
I know. And then one day we'll be driving electric cars.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's I mean, wherever we were driving somewhere, I cannot believe the number of Teslas that are on the road now that you're seeing.
There's a
all the time.
lot of Teslas on the road now.
So it's not uncommon, and
especially with fuel going up the way it is.
yeah, I mean, I think in the next 5 years, I think it's just going to be a bigger percentage of the market, right? I mean, you can see it more and more.
Absolutely. Ford just announced it's coming out with an all-electric F-150 pickup truck.
I saw that.
One of the most popular pickup trucks around.
Yep.
It's going to be all-wheel drive, 300-mile range.
Yep.
And it's heavy duty. And the good thing is, it's in the affordable range. In other words, I mean, I know those pickup trucks are expensive to begin with. Don't get me wrong.
The base model is fairly affordable. I saw that.
But the all-electric version is not that much more expensive.
Right.
And it'll probably come down.
And it has
looking at it. Central Hudson is definitely eyeing that vehicle.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Plus, you get a frunk. A frunk is a front trunk.
A frunk.
Oh, you do?
A frunk.
A frunk.
Yeah, because there's no engine.
Yeah.
So you pop up the.
So do you get a frunk and a bunk?
Yes, you get a frunk and a bunk. Yeah. No, it's cool.
It's like a true family truckster.
I mean, I think for a light contractor, I was talking to my brother-in-law about it, who's, he's a contractor and did a lot of work for some bigger companies over time, but now he's a one-man gang. But he was saying, the payload on it is probably not as big as, it's still a half-ton pickup truck, so it's not going to, it's not like unless they start doing that with the 250 and the 350, the Fords.
Right.
But I'm sure Dodge and, whatever, Toyota and all those are going to be right behind.
Yeah, I imagine
Chevy
they would be, yeah.
GMCs. But
especially those gas guzzlers,
my
pickup
God.
trucks,
oh, man, like 12 miles is good. But, no, it's, I think it's going to, the world over the next few years, I mean, I have a lease that's going to be up in a couple of years. I'll probably strongly consider electric this time, as long as, why not? I mean, it's, so, I don't know
if if you're worried about, the ability to drive long distances, if you happen to have 2 cars in your family, make one electric.
Right.
And one can be gas or a plug-in hybrid,
Right.
And then you can go anywhere.
By that time, gas will probably be
electric for the more local travel.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the way to do it. And look, as time goes on, the technology is going to be even greater. I thought I read an article that the Chinese were developing an electric car that had a range of 1,000 miles.
Wow.
Ooh.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
And I think the price of the vehicle was like in U.S. dollars, like $30,000.
Wow.
So it's like that's a huge game changer. If that car ever hits the market, I think there's going to be hell to pay all over the place. Right. So anyway.
Yep, it's the battery on wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a battery on wheels. But the other, and maybe this. What do you do with those batteries once because they have to have a useful life of, I don't know what they are, maybe 5 years or something. I have no idea what those batteries are. Like any battery, that's not forever.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they what happens with those batteries is that they, over time, are unable to, I'll say, take a full charge. They don't just die. They, if your car had the 300-mile range,
might have
after 10 years, it
200.
might have a 200-mile range.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
So they never
they do
croak?
They do kind of go on and on. But I know that the battery manufacturers are working on a recycling program for those batteries because they contain some rare minerals that
Yeah.
We don't want to just toss away. I mean,
yeah, or dump in the ocean.
Mind,
or dump on.
Yeah. Right,
So,
we were talking.
I mean,
No, we were saying we're not going to
100%
dump
clean here.
dump the battery in the clover leaf.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the idea now, to recycle these batteries. That's the next step in battery development.
Yeah.
But they're also working on longer capacity batteries. When we think of batteries in the utility industry, they're a great resource for what we call peak power. In other words, right now on those very, very hot days, you need a little extra power. You need an extra boost.
Yeah.
Because people are cranking their air conditioners. So there are a series of small power plants located throughout cities and towns, and they can run on natural gas or oil or some other fuel. We're trying to clean those up. So they're looking at replacing them with batteries, the same kind of batteries that are used in cars, the lithium-ion batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So they can provide peak power for a few hours, and that's great because now you're not running these small power plants.
Right.
But the lithium-ion batteries in this application only gives about 4 hours worth of power.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to be recharged. So they're looking at new battery technology that will last much longer. One's called a flow battery. It's liquid based. It's not like the lead acid batteries. It's a much better technology, but it's the same idea where you have liquid running through an enclosure. So they're not suitable for cars, but they would be suitable for utility purposes or
Right.
stationary purposes. I mean, you can imagine one day that these flow batteries could replace a generator that you might have at home or for a hospital or a big building, if they're able to provide power for a few days. So that's next on the battery development. It's all really interesting,
No, it is.
I mean,
yeah.
we if you think about it, there's a climate laws that have been put into effect in New York State, and there are goals to reduce emissions, and we have like a 30-year lookout on what is supposed to take place to meet the goals of these climate laws, and we're looking at the technology that we have today, and how that's going to play out over time. But if you look back 30 years, we're using stuff that we had no idea would be around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, so while we're, you have to plan based on what you know, of course, but there's going to be new technologies that are going to come out that are going to, I think, blow us away, really surprise us and I hope address a lot of our problems and issues.
Right. I mean, 1980, there was no cell phones. There was not it was zip.
Right.
1990, well, yeah,
1990
there
just
was,
started a little bit. The big bag
phones,
phones started, but all that stuff is.
You didn't stream audio or video. I mean, you still rented, tapes, from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these technologies are going to be disruptive to traditional businesses. We know that, but they're going to also open the door to new types of enterprises and new services that that
absolutely
don't yet exist.
Absolutely. John, what's happening with solar stuff? How are you seeing more of that, less of that?
We are seeing we're seeing a flattening of solar that's being installed on homes, but an explosion in solar farms.
Interesting.
So the big solar arrays that are interconnected to the grid.
There's one on the way to Ellenville off of 209. It's like 2 football fields. It's enormous.
And developers are looking at solar fields on 20-acre plots, or more. I mean, they're huge.
So what's the science behind that? What are they doing with that? That's an investment. What are they, trying to light up a campsite or something?
Well, what we're allowed to do in New York now is sign up for solar supply from these solar arrays. So that's the business model. They build the solar, and they sell the power directly to individuals and companies, etc. Now, the power from the solar array, those electrons may not be going to your house per se, but you're paying for that power to be put onto the grid on your behalf. And usually, with the incentives that are available in New York, the cost is a little bit less than what you would get from a utility company. You might save, 5%, 10% or so, but you're not going to pay more, which is the good thing, and you're supporting a local solar array. Now, of course, at night on cloudy days, the solar farm is not going to be generating, or it's going to be generating very low amounts. But during the day, hey, it's replacing or displacing some of the higher emissions resources, and it's a good thing. Now, getting permits and all the necessary approvals for these solar farms can be a challenge. Some communities welcome them with open arms, and some communities feel, hey, we're taking down some trees, or we're displacing agriculture, or this thing is an eyesore, I don't want to see it. So there are a mixed review in terms of how communities react when the solar farms are built. But I will tell you, they're springing up like wildflowers. Honestly, we're seeing more and more of these large systems being applied for interconnection, and they're big. It's really a game changer when it comes to electric production.
So are they trying to do what you do, what Central Hudson does, supply electricity to the grid, or not? What?
Yes, they're yeah. I mean, Central Hudson or the New York State utilities are really distribution companies. Where we just manage the wires and the pipes, and when it comes to natural gas, we don't supply the electric. We're buying the electric from the wholesale market,
from Kansas.
And so these, and then just reselling it to our customers at the same price we pay.
Right.
And now these solar providers are kind of doing the same thing. They're an option where people can purchase their energy, from a different resource. And because it's solar, there are incentives that help reduce the cost to customers.
Yeah.
So it really is a good thing. I mean, I'm sure many of us are getting these flyers in the mail, or maybe a call saying, we have a solar company and you can purchase power at a discount. We all know there are a lot of come-ons and scams out there, but this one is real.
Yeah.
This one's legitimate.
Speaking about that, John, I got a call at the office at Norman Staffing the other day from, I want to say the number was 452-2700. That was what was popping up. And
yes.
It was isn't that Central Hudson's number?
I thought so. Close to it.
It's close to it. Well, that's what I thought.
And the person number, yes.
And the person answered, said, and I looked. I said, I thought it said Central Hudson on the ID. So I answered, and it said, "Oh yeah, this is Central Hudson, and I'm just telling you that your electricity is going to be shut off." And I can't say what I said on the radio. No, but I said, well, geez, that's just. I actually just kind of played along a little bit just to see, what was going on. And I'm thinking, well, if this was a TV show, they would say, keep the person on the phone for 30 seconds so we can trace the call. But I think I just called it out. I said, this just sounds like a fraud and bogus. And they just clicked. They just hung up immediately.
Wow.
That's crazy that they came from, because that is very similar.
Popped up right on my caller ID screen.
Wow.
Right? It's scary.
It's called spoofing. There's a term for it.
What is it called?
Where the spoofing.
Spoofing.
SPOOFING. Spoofing. And they're just taking a phone number and pushing that out on the caller ID to make it look like it's a trusted source.
Yeah.
It's another technique that scammers use.
It's
terrible. It's like getting an email from someone and then later finding out it wasn't from them. It was another or scam or Where
But it's funny, as soon as you call them out, I mean, I think I might have played with them a little bit.
It's always fun to do that.
Because I knew it was crap. I said, "Could I have your personal phone number so I can call you at 2:00 in the morning?"
Yeah, well, if that ever happens, just if you've never heard from Central, well, right now we're not shutting off service to anybody because we're still recovering from this pandemic.
Right.
So know that.
Yeah.
But if you ever suspect that a call is fraudulent, hang up, call Central Hudson at its regular number, 452-2700, and ask, is there an issue with my account?
Yeah. No, it's
that's crazy.
And unsuspecting people, or you're just, your mind is somewhere else, and you're saying, well, geez, did I really send the payment in, or maybe I forgot, or
well, what about the 80-year-old grandmother who,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like legitimate.
It's
legitimate.
potential, and it sounded, pretty official. So
it's mean. I mean, you think about it. These callers are knowingly being fraudulent, and they're trying to extort money out of you. I mean, that's cold.
It's bad news. I guess. I mean, what the next step is? So let's say I played along with it, and would they ask for a credit card? Is that what they do?
They usually ask you to go to the drugstore and buy what's called like a green dot card, where you pay the cashier, and they give you this card with money on it, and the number, and whoever you give that number to can cash that card.
Oh, see,
and the reason it's done that way is because
go to the drugstore. I think at that point when they said go to the drugstore, I'd be like, all right, maybe this isn't real.
Pick me up some toothpaste while
pick up my prescription.
They still fall for it.
We're joking about it, but it's very serious.
More and more people are aware of these scams. And there's an organization called Utilities United Against Scams. It's a North American group of utilities from Canada and the United States, from across both countries, and they band together to report scams, and they are working with an agency to shut down these fraudulent calls.
Are these typically
by turning off their phone numbers?
Overseas, or are they domestic?
They're both. They're international and they're domestic. Yeah. But they're just the group is shutting down their phone numbers so they can't make outbound calls. Now, of course, they'll just get another phone number, but at least we're slowing them down and confounding them. But as you saw firsthand, they're continuing to call.
Oh yeah,
because it's kind of nervy to do that domestically because they might show up at your house.
Well, I mean, it's it's a place of business too. I mean, in the first question they said, "Are you the owner or a tenant?" I said, "Well, we're a tenant." Yeah. Because at first I was a little taken aback, saying, "What? What?"
Yeah.
Somebody missed paying a bill here, so
yeah.
But anyway, so thank you for clarifying that. And any advice? Summertime coming up. I know people are already cranking their ACs. The last few days were
brutal.
We're rough.
Right. So just remember that when it's really hot and everyone's using their air conditioning, that raises the demand for electricity, and unfortunately, that also raises the price. Right. So not only are you paying a little more, you're also using more. So try to use fans to supplement your cooling. Keep your air conditioner set on on higher temperatures if you can. I mean, if you're comfortable at 75 or 76, 77 degrees, do so and run a fan, and that might help keep you cool and while you're saving money.
77. Val's got hers at 67.
I was just saying, that's only at bedtime. I'm fine during the day, but when I jump in bed, it's got to be a meat locker.
You got to crank it up, right?
Yeah.
And remember, like we've always been told as kids, don't leave the door open. Shut the door. Shut the windows on those hot days,
right?
So that you're not
letting all the cool air escape.
All that cool air outside. Yeah. So a lot of the normal common sense stuff that was drummed into our heads when we were kids, they still hold true today.
Yeah. All right, John Maserjian, Central Hudson, thank you for being on once a month. We always look forward to hearing what's going on, and thank you for underwriting, helping support KCR. We certainly appreciate that, and be safe, be well, and one of these centuries, maybe over the summertime, you'll take a spin up to Kingston on a beautiful day. Val will get to meet you face to face.
Yes, I'm going to check out your new digs, and
yes,
and I'll see about trying to arrange something with.
Please do. Let me know about that. Okay, that would be really cool if you could get the folks from Hudson Valley Weather on with us.
Okay,
that'd be cool beans.
Thanks, John.
All right, John. All the best.
Right,
Stay
care.
well.
Nice
be safe. Thank you. All right, Lawrence, take it away.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Introducing the YMCA. Sure, you know the Y for a swim or a game of hoops, but we're more than that. We're a cause. When you take a jump shot at the Y, someone else is getting job training. Practice yoga as a team practices her leadership skills. We give people of all ages, incomes, and backgrounds a chance to learn, grow, and thrive. So while you might think of the Y as the place for lifting weights, we're also about lifting entire communities. That's the Y. We're so much more. Visit ymca.net/more.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, this is Tony Marmo from Norman Staffing, and we've been bringing together employers and job seekers since 1980. If you're an employer and have job vacancies, let Norman Staffing help fill them with permanent or temporary workers. We screen, interview, and recommend the best candidates for your company. We make the employment process easier and faster for you. Please call Norman Staffing for your employment needs at 338-9111, 338-9111, or normanstaffing.com.
Hi, this is Jim Quigley, Supervisor of the Town of Ulster, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
Rondout Savings Bank has a long history of serving local communities and maintaining a strong tradition of customer service excellence while providing each customer with the personal attention they deserve. Rondout Savings' approach to community banking puts you and the growth of your business in the front of everything they do. They're a different kind of bank and would like to tell you why, so please reach out to one of their expert business bankers for an appointment and let them show you what they can do for you. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and the community with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park. Also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, this is Thunder Thursday. This is Flash.
Ba-ba-ba-boom.
So, Flash and Boom. That's our little homage to Scott Harrington. And I know we have our guests on the air, Kevin Godbey and Veronica Fassbender. Welcome.
Hello, is this thing on?
I think it is. I think it is.
Morning.
Is Marconi? Are you Marconi on the other end?
How you doing?
We're doing good. We just want to wish a couple of birthdays. We don't have any in the studio, but we do have some friends that have had birthdays. So go ahead.
I want to wish a very happy 15th birthday to my friend Emily Bikert, who is also my daughter's best friend.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Joe Bikert's daughter.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Emily.
And I have Don Verity, who is the I don't know what he is for Pamel Broadcasting, but he's one of the big guns around the area.
Big wig.
Big wigs. And actually his son, Mark, is also born on his birthday, June 10th.
Oh, cool.
And yesterday
That's a nice
was
birthday present.
It was. Yesterday was our 2-year-old granddaughter's birthday, Isla Marie Marmo, down in Huntington, or East Northport, Long Island, kind of sort of near Huntington.
Cool.
So, so we're going to be down there celebrating with her this weekend. So, yeah, anybody else who's got a birthday on today, just enjoy, be happy, celebrate, do cool stuff, and go on KingstonHappenings.com and figure out where all the cool stuff is.
How you can celebrate your birthday.
Right. What's happening, folks?
Oh, lots of stuff are happening.
All right.
Things are busting out all over.
Cool.
What? Like where? Like how? Like tell us.
Tell us where to go.
Yeah, well, for
politely.
And this comes up next week on Thursday, and then the following Thursday, we're collaborating with Lara Hope and Matt Goldpaw, and we're putting on a Kingston Musicians Comeback.
Oh, wow.
Which will be
Good idea.
a virtual show. Yeah, it'll be a virtual show this time. Maybe someday we get to do it live.
Generously sponsored by Ulster Savings Bank.
Yay.
Right.
And it highlights some of the area's best talent, raising funds for Family of Woodstock and their John Harold Fund, which supports musicians in need.
Very
This is an exciting thing happening, and it's super accessible because, unfortunately, there are still people for whom they cannot go out into crowds, and the vaccine isn't accessible for them yet. So we wanted to still push through with a virtual event and have a ton of awesome musicians who are in Kingston, from Kingston, or in the surrounding area.
Interesting. So, I mean,
So
really,
we'll have,
go ahead.
We'll have 20 musicians over two different shows. And again, these are just sort of a representative sample of the musicians in the area. We left room for lots more shows if we do decide this, because there's plenty more musicians out there. But we really wanted to show, people in the area just how rich and how vibrant the music scene is here. And so that when people see that, hey, so-and-so's playing, at, wherever, at Keegan's or whatever locally, that they can go to all this stuff will eventually be stored on our website. They go to our website and they can find out, this is what they sound like. This is what, we're doing interviews too, so people will know, a little bit about the people in the bands and then playing some of their music.
Great.
So now this event, you said it'll be virtual. Will there also be an opportunity to see it live? Will it be hybrid or?
No, this will be pre-recorded and just be a virtual event this time around.
Okay.
If we get enough support, maybe we'll figure out how to do a Kingston Music Festival where it's just local music.
Cool.
Are you both seeing more live performances, though, coming back? I mean, I know there's venues that have a fairly consistent flow of lives, or not?
Yeah, definitely. Basically, people that have open space are booking music.
Outside space, right.
Yeah, we've been working with Lara, obviously, on this stuff, and they're getting calls to do music all over the place.
Right.
So it's really starting to happen as far as all the different music venues and new music venues as well. So the regular ones like Keegan's have been doing music outside for the last few weeks. We get stuff from outside of Kingston as well. So like Grand Cru over in Rhinebeck does outdoor music. The Colony up in Woodstock does outside music.
There's a new place in Woodstock called Pearl Moon, and they've been doing a lot of music, and they've had quite an awesome selection of musicians. And I'm trying to.
How about the Hutton Brickyard?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a great venue for outdoor.
Right. What's
Yeah, they've been.
Yeah, definitely.
The only thing we've seen from there so far is they do like an open mic thing on Tuesday nights, but we haven't seen any major shows booked down there yet.
Yeah.
Open mic, like, are you talking comedian or music?
Music.
Music, okay. Because I want to ask about, I know there's some comedians in the area that have relocated from Manhattan. Have you guys heard anything? The reason why I know this is because I was out with my girlfriends. We were at the Crown having drinks, and there was this man kind of hovering over us, and he was listening to our conversation, and it was to the point where it was actually really uncomfortable that we got up and left. And as we were getting ready to leave, he came over and he said, "I'm a comedian. You guys are hysterical, and I'm grabbing material for my show."
So we're all
great.
comedians.
And he's legit. I looked him up online.
What's that, Kevin? And
I said we're all comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in our own minds we are, right?
Yeah. But, yeah, no, there's also been a number of local comedians that have been doing something. They haven't gotten restarted yet, but they were doing their own open mics at Tony's Pizzeria, and I forget some other place. I think down at Ask, actually.
I think
there really is a bunch of really good homegrown comedians in the area, and hopefully they'll get fired up here soon, too.
Yeah, that's great.
I think at Rough Draft, I feel like outside. Do they hold events outside at Rough Draft? Did I hear that?
I think so. I mean, they have spots. They have.
No, I think that's something they were considering.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they would do that because they have the parking spaces. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What have you heard about UPAC?
They're booking shows.
They are. When does that start up?
I think it's on the marquee now.
Later summer or early fall.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's still not for a while yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to give the website so if anyone wants to jump on and check out? We're on it right now. At least I'm on it right now.
Yep, it's kingstonhappenings.org.
Right.
You can just Google Kingston Happenings and you'll get there. You Google lots of other things related to Kingston and you'll get there. But yeah, we are seeing right now unbelievable traffic to the website. I mean, we're doing twice as many page views per week than we were doing at the best time we ever had before the pandemic.
Wow. Well, people are ready to bust out, man. Yeah. Right? They want to do stuff.
Well, what we've done also, we've changed up our strategy a little bit in terms of the way, just very subtly, the way we're doing some articles and the way we're doing social media and that sort of stuff, and it's made all the difference in the world.
That's great.
When you deep dive into analytics, on a website like ours that already gets a lot of traffic, you start to see little things that you can capitalize on. And it's been, like I said, a huge improvement since we've tweaked a couple things. And there's a couple more things that we see that are going to take a little bit more time to tweak, but there's still a lot more opportunity out there.
Yeah, that's great. You were mentioning vaccines. I mean, there's vaccines available. Like you can probably get them through Burger King now.
Drive-through vaccines.
No, they're not going to have them there. But they're in like Hannaford. You can walk into Hannaford and get one. And then most of the drugstores, most of them are all now
needs groceries.
Walk in. So, that I know we're still trying to get as much as the population vaccinated so that everyone feels safe and can go out. And here we are in the beautiful Hudson Valley and. It's outside, so masks look like it's pretty much optional now if you're double vaccinated to go into most places, right?
Yeah.
So
if we could host a Kingston Happenings sponsored vaccine clinic, we would.
Yeah, good idea. That's not a bad idea. Put some music there with that, and maybe a barrel of beer, and
there you go.
That's a great idea.
And a shot.
Tony.
Yeah, maybe we should talk later, Tony.
Yeah, I think Norman Staffing could get behind that easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's great.
But I mean, not only are the music venues opening up, and we're seeing a lot more events being posted for that, but I mean, there's a lot of other outdoor events going on. There's the Uptown Farmers Market. There's the Downtown Farmers Market. There's the YMCA Farmers Market.
Stand,
one day a week right now, but they'll be doing 2 days a week here shortly. So there's no end to fresh veggies and that sort of stuff.
And don't forget the Hudson River Maritime Museum, one of our favorite spots. They have a crazy amount of boat tours.
Oh,
so if you are a fan of the water, boats, or just doing something, the Hudson River Maritime Museum has an activity for you. Everyone of all ages.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They have some great programming.
The Strand is pretty busy, I would think, right? These days, anytime we've been down there, it seems like restaurants are
for a
packed.
concert.
Great, yeah. The T.R. Gallo
also
Park.
This Sunday at the downtown farmers market starts the Kingston Multicultural Festival.
Oh, right.
And that used to be just one day event, but now we're going to space it over 3 different Sundays down at the waterfront market. So there'll be performances and there'll be some, other foods there and crafts from a lot of different cultures here in the Hudson Valley.
Right. Yeah, Sarah Litvin, she's done a great job down there and promoting the Rear Center and the Multicultural Festival, which is kind of somewhat synonymous, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
So,
the Multicultural Festival has always been part of the Rear Center.
Yep. So, that's Jeff Miller before Sarah has done a great job. But, there's just generally a good buzz. I mean, do you think the influx of, some of the folks from the metropolitan area are the cause of some of this in terms of, they're looking for things to do. They think this is Brooklyn, but it's really not Brooklyn. You can't get a slice of pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Can't get one at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, that may be part of it, but I think it's still just people want to get out and do something. And, a lot of these outdoor things obviously are safer. People feel more comfortable doing it. And, as long as the weather's great, people will get out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the health officials, state health officials, still evaluating mass gathering, rules, and as things continue and infection rates drop, vaccinations hopefully go up. Maybe we'll have a huli on the Hudson and an Italian festival. I know we're planning on having it for the Italian festival. I mean, we're assuming things are going to be going in the right direction. And I think the AOH is doing the same thing. The Ancient Order of Hibernians, they're assuming and planning a huli this year.
Yep.
So, I think that's logical and correct at this point, given, again, Kevin, some of the analytics that are out there that, yes, we want a whole bunch more people vaccinated, but, I know that new cases of the virus
I think there's 8...
It's dropping pretty low.
Yeah.
So.
And there's also a lot of protocols you can put in place too. As
absolutely.
A private enterprise to just really kind of filter out the ones who can't play nice with others.
Yeah. No, it's. I think things are moving in a good direction, and certainly there's some pent up demand out there, for sure. I can tell you, and I don't want to get off on this tangent, but I a lot of the restaurants are having difficulty because they don't have staff, so if anyone's looking for work out there, you can find a job in like 32 seconds.
We have 32 active cases right now in our county.
32 wow.
Out of 180,000 people.
Yeah, that's pretty low,
Hopefully all 32 won't be at the huli. I'm just kidding.
Well, we're gonna put him. We're gonna put him in a Feeney's tugboat and just.
There's the Feeney's Corona tug.
Yeah, right there you go.
Sponsored by Guinness or something.
Yeah, sponsored by Corona. Come on.
Yeah.
Corona.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But everybody needs to get out, support the restaurants, and.
Yeah. And, even still, we still mask up when we're out if we happen to be inside any place. And you can do it outside if it's crowded, too, if it makes you feel more
Absolutely. Anything on rail trails and, are you seeing increased utilization, or what's your sense about, the great rail trail system we have here?
Every time we're down on the Brickyard Rail Trail, there's people there.
Yeah.
So that's being used all the time. And it's nice because it's not a big crowd of people. It really is nice that you can take a walk and feel like you're kind of in the woods a bit, in that sort of thing.
Have you both made it down to the rail trail yet?
No, we haven't been down there. Yeah.
Make sure you check it out, and you can pop by the Hutton Brickyard grounds too, and they have their music night or whatever event that was.
Yeah, it's actually a nice bike ride.
It's a really pretty walk.
If you start down on the Rondout, you can come across, the Strand over to North Street, and then go on, get to the Brickyard Rail Trail.
What's the access point? Where is there like a trailhead or not, or just you can jump on anywhere?
The trailheads are at Kingston Point Beach. There's a path that goes like through the woods over to where St. Mary's was before, and you get onto the rail trail on that end, or you can go to East Kingston, and you can get on from that end. So if you go into John Street, I think it is, in East Kingston, there's a trailhead there, and you can get on from there.
And how long is it, roughly?
1.9 miles.
I think it's 1.9,
I think it is.
All right.
It's a nice walk. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a quick bike ride. We do the circuit sometimes. We'll start off from Veronica Studio in Midtown, go down the Green Line, along Broadway, behind Rondout Savings, go down the Green Line to the Rondout, and then go over East Strand, North Street, and then go out the rail trail and actually come back around through East Kingston and First Avenue.
Cool. Yeah, so that's
a nice ride.
Yeah, that's a good. There's a lot going on down there, and hopefully, as summer is upon us. I guess it's not like it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that's cool that we get on our website too is if you go down the Walkhill Valley Rail Trail, just past Rosendale, about maybe not even a mile down the trail, is the Rail Trail Cafe.
Okay, good to know.
Which is this little spot in the woods. They do wood-fired pizzas.
Okay.
They use ingredients from the farm that's right behind them.
That's cool.
They have a lot of other, cold drinks and that sort of stuff there, and snacks. But they do live music there on the weekends.
Interesting. And what's this one called again, Kevin?
It's the Rail Trail Cafe.
Rail Trail Cafe. Good to know. We've been down there, not this year yet, but last year during the pandemic, we did a fair amount of hiking, like in May and June, and couldn't do a whole lot of anything.
You can get on the trail from, right by Binneywater, by the caves there, and walk across the trestle. And then, like I said, it's about a mile down that way, or, bike it, obviously. Or you can actually drive to the place. It's on River Road Extension off of, I forget what road that is now. I don't know if it's Riverside or something like that, down in Tilson. But you can get to it from by the road also. You can just drive there. But they got great pizzas and, like I said, live music, through the weekend.
Yeah, very cool.
That sounds cool.
A cafe in the woods.
I know.
Yep, just bring your bug spray.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this is... Go ahead.
They've got the band called Levanta playing there this weekend, and they're a great band that plays Portuguese and Spanish music and, Latino music, and they're great. They've been playing in this area for a long time.
Yeah, interesting.
That's a really neat idea.
Nice little hidden gem there.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we really like
Dennis there.
Yeah.
to really emphasize is that, when we pull together all this information, when you aggregate information, it has a lot more value.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're looking for live music, you can go to the website and just look for, all sorts of things. Bar any other source around, we have the most comprehensive set of events on the website. I mean, you can go look at every other source, and most of them probably only have a tenth of what we have on the site, because we get it from everybody. We go off and we find it. We really are aggressive about getting stuff on there and are as hyper-local focused as we can be. But like I said, we include Kingston and surrounding area, Rhinebeck, Woodstock, Rosendale, wherever the adjacent areas are. And there's a lot going on. When you aggregate it and you look at it, you go, oh, my God, there's just, there's always something to do.
Yeah, well, you all came up with a great idea here, and just, people, it's about quality of life, it's about socializing, it's about getting out there, and, again, it has to be done safely, and a lot of folks are kind of thinking that the pandemic never happened, but...
Yeah, right, yeah.
What pandemic?
For them, it was never a reality.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, so...
But like you said, there's really a lot to showcase here. And,
yeah.
There's absolutely something for everybody. Even if you hate music, there's still things to do, like the rail trails and stuff, like you mentioned.
Right.
We live in a great place with so many things for people of all ages.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Yeah, and just put the Netflix remote down. Just enough.
Yeah,
already.
there's always time for that.
Enough already.
Really.
It's like now tis the season.
Get outside.
Get outside, and hopefully it's gonna roll into the fall, November, and I don't want to wish time away, but it's.
Well, you want to wish the Italian festival.
We want to wish the Italian Festival to happen. Yes, I think we're hoping and praying, and some of the guidelines are pretty significant if you have what they consider a mixed event. They is the state health department, and the guidelines are if you just want to have a vaccinated only event. Then you can do whatever you want. Cartwheels and all kinds of cartwheels in the street.
That's great.
Yeah, cartwheels. There's going to be a cartwheel contest, as a matter of fact. No, that's not true. But the reverse is, there's still concern for public safety and public health issues, and I hopefully that'll, as we get closer to herd immunity or more people get vaccinated, infection rates drop. Maybe they'll, pull some of the restrictions, and we can go back to pretty much normal. Right now, they're still hedging, I think, right? They're still saying, we can't just,
We can't just let that spaghetti eating contest go
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Although we could
unfortunately, we're at a good vaccination rate here in Ulster County, but that doesn't mean, everybody else is. And you can't stop people from crossing borders and coming.
Well, right.
So,
all absolutely.
These precautions and everything else are well warranted.
Yeah.
And, you have to be supportive of it just because, we don't, from a country standpoint, we don't have it under control yet.
No. I mean, from a community, you're 100% right, Kevin. And, the Italian Festival and the Huli and the O Positive, those festivals pull in people from out of the area. And sometimes out of the state. So, there's certainly a need for precaution and need to let this thing unfold. And in the meantime, there's plenty of things to do and get involved and do it safely. And, check out kingstonhappenings.org for anything you want to do or want to know about that's happening. And if you're thinking about maybe your business wants to, advertise in that because it gets 30 million hits every day.
Yeah,
Close. Right.
We're almost there.
But Tony, for a local site, we're getting close on the average, close to 2,000 hits per day.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's significant.
For a local site, that's really, really good.
Right. And
it's really not garbage stuff. People that are come to the site are looking for things to do. They're not coming to read the obituaries. They're not coming to read police beat. They're not coming to, and that sort of stuff. They're coming specifically because they want to do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very mobile and really good audience to have.
Yep. So Kevin and Veronica, give some contact information again. So if people want to, reach out to you, have some questions about whatever,
sure.
they
if
can
anyone
find you.
wants to get in touch, thanks, Tony, for the opportunity to talk about this. info@kingstonhappenings.org, or you can reach out to Veronica at kingstonhappenings.org, and you can check out the website, kingstonhappenings.org, and check us out on social media. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, just put in Kingston Happenings, and you will find us, and you can see some of the cool things we post. We have a lot of local photography that we create and make ourselves that we post on our social media, so stay tuned. And
Great.
always keep an eye out for new things.
Thanks for doing this. The old saying is, if you do something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? And that's kind of what you two, I think, have found here, is that this is something that you do naturally, and you decided to form this business. I don't know how many years ago now has it been.
Well, I took it over 7 years ago.
Okay.
Kingston Happenings actually was around a few years before that.
Okay. In print,
7
Kevin?
years
Or
for me and almost 3 years for Veronica now.
was it ever in print?
No.
Never in print, always online.
Yeah, print's a whole different animal.
Yeah, right. Right.
But the one thing I did want to go back to is that we really want to, thank Ulster Savings for supporting the musicians' comeback. This is something that we're really passionate about. Every radio show that we do, but we do a radio show on Radio Kingston as well. We're always featuring local musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They've got it really, really rough, normally they have it rough, right? It's so hard for them to promote things the way the music business is. It's hard for them to make money. So, to be able to showcase these guys, these folks, was just a natural thing to do. And we're really glad that we could collaborate with Lara Hope, who's Kingston's Distinguished Artist this year, and put on a program to really showcase these guys. We're going to have Tony Lindsay on to headline one show. Tony, local guy who played for Santana, was a vocalist with Santana for 15 years.
20.
Or more. And Rhett Miller, who is a really big name.
He plays with the old 97s, and he also has a solo act. And, we're super
Yeah, these
excited.
guys are nationally known acts. I mean, these guys have quite the following, and they agreed to headline, both shows, and we're grateful for their participation as well.
Great. Well, listen, thank you both for all you do for the community, and you're a connector for people, and I think that's important. That people just that want to do things. I mean, if you're just going to sit home, that's
With
great.
Netflix.
Yeah, with Netflix, fine. But if you really want to do stuff,
At least look at the website and just have fun.
right? Exactly. So,
Thank
all
you
right,
both.
Kevin Godbey and Veronica Fassbender, thank you for all you do. We'll see you soon again on KCR. Be safe, be well.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you very
Tony.
much.
Thanks, Val.
Great.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Lawrence, take.
You're listening to Kingston Community Radio on WGHQ Kingston. On your radio at 920 AM and 92.5 FM, and also online at mykcr.org.
Central Hudson reminds you that summer thunderstorms can strike with strong, gusty winds, knocking down trees and power lines. If you see a downed power line, call 911 immediately to report it. Power lines can carry an electric current strong enough to cause injury or death. Stay at least 30 feet away from a fallen line. Don't try to move it or anything that has come in contact with it. And never drive over a power line. Remember, your safety matters.
There was this one time I went snorkeling in the Caribbean when I was a kid. It really just blew my mind. We saw the most beautiful corals. I remember thinking they were waving at us as they moved with the ocean. And then there were all these amazing fish. I'll never forget it. It completely changed the way I look at the ocean.
Most of us have a memory of being in nature we'll never forget. Let's protect the world's natural places so more memories can be made for generations to come. Visit worldwildlife.org.
Have you ever experienced a wish come true? For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one adventure, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant the wish of every eligible child. Visit wish.org now to help grant more life-changing wishes. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His parents could only hope that one day he would leave the hospital healthy, and they would all live happily ever after. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year. You can help the March of Dimes stop premature birth and bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
Hi, this is Winnie from the Rosendale Seniors, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
This portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Ulster Savings Bank. Visit their newest branch, conveniently located at the Ulster Commons Plaza in Lake Katrine. Experience the difference that local community banking offers with the convenience of another great location, easy access, plenty of parking, and a 24-hour ATM. Ulster Savings Bank, invested in community, invested in you. Member FDIC.
All right, folks, we're back. This is Thunder Thursday. This is Flash.
Boom.
And we're here having fun.
Yeah, we have a very active studio. This is a first. We have 2 little munchkins in here.
Right.
Love it. we're joined. Yeah.
It's going to be on YouTube, so you can see the kids.
Yeah, we'll have to get them on there.
Yeah, I'll have to get them on.
So we're joined in the studio by Jenna Benincasa, who is the owner of Uptown Coffee, if you know, on Wall Street. So
Wow.
welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Very cool
Excited.
place.
Thank you.
And and this is the picture of a true working mom. Her two munchkins here, Gigi and Tavi. So welcome, you guys.
Hi, guys.
You
Yeah.
wanna say hi on the radio?
Less is more talking with
Less
them.
is
so it's
more.
Good.
Less is
I
more.
appreciate this. They're holding back a little.
So tell us a
Good.
story about Uptown Coffee.
So
Where you're from originally.
So I am
let's go
from
back.
Indiana.
Let's
I'm a
go back.
Midwest girl.
Okay.
I'm from Indiana, and I moved here when I was about 17.
Okay.
So I love it here. I didn't plan on staying here for this long, and I kind of got settled, and I don't want to
Right.
say the word stuck because that sounds negative,
Right,
but
right.
I
What-
didn't plan on loving it this much, and I'm happy
brought
to stay
you here?
Oh, it is a very long story,
That's
but
a
I
very
did
long
move
story.
here.
We have
with
a
my-
half hour,
You don't
but-
have that. We don't have that
Is there
kind
a
of
Cliff
time.
Notes version? Is it school? Was
no, it's actually
fell in love or
no,
something?
but I did fall in love when
Yeah.
I got here, so that
Right.
is partially what kept me here. But no, we needed a change of scenery and
Okay.
a change of pace, my family. So it's
From
just
Indiana?
From Indiana, very random.
Yeah.
So random.
Yeah.
Not as random anymore because everyone wants to live here. But yeah, it was back then. So Gigi.
He's
so cute.
So you came here, and how'd you get into the coffee business?
So my dad was in restaurants my entire life.
Right.
I promised him I would never do it. I would never go into that business, and I
Right.
apparently lied to him. But I
Yeah.
started managing the coffee shop prior to buying it, and then I took over in 2015 and changed it to Uptown Coffee. And
Great.
changed a lot of things about it.
Yeah.
Didn't change everything. Can't change something that's actually working. You don't
Yeah.
fix it if it's not broken. But
Right.
it did need to evolve, and I think we've done a pretty good job with that.
Right. And the location is where?
It's right across from the courthouse.
Okay. great.
I call myself the official coffee shop of the courthouse. I don't
Yeah.
know if I can coin that anymore because
Yeah.
I think I've moved to a different crew. But
Right.
I love my courthouse people. I'm close
Yeah.
to the judge. We have, I just have a good relationship, a good
Yeah.
following from there, and I really appreciate my location.
It's a great place to hang out, right? You can just
Yeah.
come there, bring your laptop.
Yeah.
You know.
Jenna's a huge law enforcement supporter, and
Yeah,
you'll see
great.
a lot of law enforcement in there a lot, right?
All day.
Yeah.
I get my cops. I get my firefighters, EMT. We get everybody in.
Right. That's good.
That's become really big, especially in the last 2 years for me.
Right.
So
So how long have you been doing it now?
So this will be July 3rd. It'll be 6 years for Uptown.
Wow.
Coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, we've survived a lot. This has been a rough year.
Yeah.
So.
I bet it has.
How did you make it through pandemic?
I'm not really sure,
Yeah.
actually. I say that every day. I'm like, I'm not really positive how I stayed afloat and kept my vest on, but I think
Were you able to get paycheck protection money? Or?
I was, but that's
not-
for
that's
small
yeah.
businesses like mine. It doesn't
really-
do much. We
yeah.
have a big overhead right now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you have the same overhead
Right. That
as you
doesn't
did
go
2
away.
years ago,
And no
but you have a
customers.
third of or less of what you had. You know, 2
foot
years
traffic,
ago.
really.
The foot traffic was just. I mean, I say I love my
Non-existent.
location, but up there when no one's working and when everyone is kind of remote,
Yeah.
you can't really.
Yeah, it's
you know?
interesting.
So, Gigi, can you sit down, baby?
Why the coffee?
Why coffee? I don't know. It became a passion of mine. It was like an overnight passion. I started getting really into. It's a very interesting drink. It's the most
Yeah.
complicated thing that we actually put in our body, like actual food.
Yeah.
It is the most complex food, and coffee is really really interesting. So yeah.
A lot of people consume it, and then
But you're on your third cup today, right?
No, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. no, it's-
I didn't have enough coffee. We're gonna go to
Well,
the
you
shop
had-
after this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now you're going to start doing lunch, right?
We started doing lunch
Oh, no
again. I
kidding.
stopped last year because I mean, if anybody with my fellow business owners, if you didn't change the way you operated during COVID, that's
out of
how
business.
you didn't. That's how you went down with the ship.
Right.
So I was really careful about what I stopped doing and started doing, and so that was a big thing
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you were saying, you told your dad you weren't going to be in the restaurant business. I mean, but a coffee shop is at least so far, the coffee shop is a little bit different from the restaurant business. I mean, Hours? What are your hours?
It is. So you're working more than your hours are on the door. So you're never your brain's not shut off. Like right now I'm not there, but I'm not shutting my brain off too. You know what I mean? I'm still
sure
focused.
It's a busy time of the day for you.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what's going on, but you can't turn your phone off.
Right,
And when your doors are open, and then when your doors aren't open is when you actually get your work done. So it's kind of, it's not the most it's a hard gig, but I chose it and I like it.
Yeah.
So
what's any trends that you're seeing in the coffee world, or what's
I mean, it's forever. It's ever changing. I would say there's more trends happening like locally that we can, like people moving here and people wanting different things in demand.
City folks are
here.
City folks have
Brooklyn is here.
Yeah.
So your stuff,
they must
your
like
demand
the prices,
changes.
though, vis-a-vis or not. I mean, the price have to be a little bit better.
They do. They're like, "Are you sure that's?"
You can add that in a tip.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and then things go up. Everything has gone up cost-wise. So we've had to go up, and they don't seem to bat an eye at it because the city, it's already inflation. So
yeah.
There's such it's insidious inflation creep all over the place. People are just not. I mean, materials are all over. Going up. Just talk about contracting stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just everything is going up, but no one's really yet figured it out.
No.
Right. Just
No, there is no way to predict anything here.
Right.
There's no way to predict it.
Yeah. So.
And I think also as part of it is as minimum wage rises, the cost to produce and serve rises. So it's all kind of all.
That's everything too. Is like controlling my payroll during this. I had to cut a lot of my people. I had to couldn't keep certain things, couldn't keep certain hours.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So I'm in the employment business, and I can tell you all the best laid plans of mice and men and women go out the window because there's no staff.
No.
There's no. You
nobody.
can't. There's nowhere. There's
Right.
there's an employment crisis. People haven't figured it out. That especially during this summer, while people are still getting unemployment insurance from the federal government, and child care issues may be still out there because school's not back in.
Yep.
There's just not a lot of people. There's a lot of people outside of the even unemployment, but just not plugged into the workforce.
No.
So I don't know how you're probably struggling with that too.
Yeah. Yes and no. So because I was able to run it as a one woman show for a long time. I mean, it drains you because you're just the only one there, and but it was doable, and it was the only way I could control the flow of money, that aspect of payroll.
Yeah.
But now I have one person, Adam, who's been with me for a really long time, who has hung on with me and been just a good, just such a solid person in my shop and a fixture. So that's kept me.
Yeah.
And I don't have a revolving door. Everyone I've ever had has stayed with me.
Says a lot for
That's
you.
awesome.
And I love that.
It's a good work environment.
It
Obviously,
is.
like family, I'm sure.
It is. And I know my friends in this business who can't find anyone to work or have a different person every 6 weeks. And that's a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
So I'm really lucky that I've had trustworthy people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of this. That's a lot of the game.
Do you see the foot traffic picking up now?
I do.
Yeah.
It's so random though. Like we were saying, it's just unpredictable. You don't know what day is going to be busy. You don't know who you're going to see. You have the normal people you're going to see, your locals, I have to say,
Out-of-towners.
we brought up just the frontline workers who kept a lot of businesses alive this year. Just the people who had to go to work. They could not work remotely. They can't do their jobs from a desk or on a couch or on their front porch or their back porch. Those are the people who kept us alive. That was our lifeline because you're kind of all in this pandemic together, and the rest of people kind of were on the outside, and we as much as people tried to support local businesses, and I have so many good people in my life and customers who did so, it's still you kind of bond with those people who had to get up every day and struggle it out with you.
You were in it together.
Yeah. So I just have a lot, that was a lot of love.
What prompted you to do lunch or think about lunch?
We always have done lunch.
Oh,
we
you
just
have?
stopped for a couple months just because
okay.
of that.
I didn't know that.
No, always.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not. It
So-
wasn't. It was just a few months of not doing it.
So what your menu is basically what?
So we do mostly eggs and stuff in the morning.
Okay.
We do a lot of breakfast stuff for the
Okay.
courthouse, firefighters, cops, all that stuff. We
Pastry,
do. I make my own scones, all of that
Nice.
stuff. Yeah. So
On premises you're making them, or you make them?
I have a huge, big commercial oven that's
Right.
takes up most
That's
of my shop.
amazing. And you're a mom.
Yeah.
What time do you get there in the morning?
I don't get there that early anymore. I get there at like 6.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go back.
Which
You
is
can
not
go back to
early.
Christmas.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's
Because
not
I see
that
your
early.
husband at the gym at 5.
You're just
Right.
turning over at 6.
Yeah. No, she's awake. I'm
She's
awake
up.
with her husband.
Yeah.
With her husband.
Yeah, every morning. Yeah. So
kidding.
yeah,
Her
when he
husband.
can, yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Oh yeah,
Because I'm here, but yeah.
but yeah. So absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So you started
Okay,
so
we just-
scones.
yeah,
and
scones. We do simple like breakfast and lunch sandwiches.
Right.
Nothing too crazy. I don't have a kitchen. We manage with a very small
area.
or work area. So we do a lot for just a little bit of space.
Yeah.
That counter is not. We don't have a lot of storage. We don't have a lot of room. We don't have a kitchen, but we do a lot with it. So
It
mean,
was previously a furrier.
it was a
place?
furrier for almost
Yeah.
100 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
It wasn't meant to be. It's beautiful. It wasn't meant to be a coffee shop at
Yeah.
all. So he's fine. He just likes to tumble around. He's a bruiser. Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't meant to be a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You can tell it's very weird. The plumbing, everything is
Yeah.
kind of set up in a strange
It's
way.
a beautiful spot, and I love. It's a great spot if you want to have a cup of coffee and you go in the back. There's a couch. There's
Yes.
like a,
Right.
it's
The
a great
rotunda,
spot.
yeah, the cool round
Back
room,
there.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
great place to
I've
go.
been there.
Yeah. Now you had an instance a couple years ago where a deer ran through.
I did. That was way before I was managing it. But Gigi, can you sit in the corner, please, my love? You're distracting me. Woo! This is called multitasking as a mom. I'm about to like.
You're gonna need a nap after.
You're gonna need a coffee.
I am gonna need a coffee.
Maybe stronger.
We're gonna have a long conversation too. No growling. We don't growl. Okay. The sibling. I'm an only child, so I never had this, and it's fun to watch sometimes, and then sometimes it's not so much fun to watch. No, so yeah, so that round room it's beautiful. Yeah, but it wasn't meant to be what it is. We've just kind of, it's manifested in what it is. But it's
I
just
think
not meant
that's
to be a
part
coffee
of the
shop.
allure and
Yeah.
the character
Yeah.
to it, really. Other than just a whole bunch of tables that are in line and.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's okay, but it's got character. The place
Yeah.
has got really.
It does, for
and
sure.
For old, Kingstonians that have been around for a while. I want to say it was Leventhal's, but I could be wrong about that. Furrier, maybe somebody knows
Yeah.
what it was, but.
It was 11th for, and I know, I met her.
So-
Yeah,
yeah,
before she died.
Sylvia,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a
Yeah.
legend.
The vault in the back is insane. Like
Yeah.
the whole building is really beautiful. That's what I mean by like, that's the last thing I would have done. Buddy.
Oh.
Boy. Oh, last thing I would have. Okay. Can you get him some bunnies out of the bag, G? Thank you. When in doubt, just give him food. Please, just
This
give
is
him
great.
food. Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's see. So there's. I always think about what's the future look like. What do you? I mean, people are into coffee in a big way, but so like just not a cup of black coffee, right?
Yeah, there's a lot.
We specialize in lattes. Like we're snobby. I would say we're
snobby
Yeah,
is good.
snobby's good.
We're called Gigi, sweetie.
Did you finish the interview?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
This
so,
is great.
Yeah, this is good.
Fine. This is fine. So I mean, the whole. I don't want to say the science of it, but folks, the whole coffee world has just kind of like exploded, I think, right? I mean, doesn't it feel like that since?
Yeah, I mean it does, and it's something that during the pandemic it wasn't as necessary for people because you don't have to give up you can't give up your homeowner's insurance, you can't give up your car insurance, but you can give up your latte when you can't afford it.
Yeah,
and when things get a little rough. So that wasn't it. Was it's a luxury. It's
luxury item.
It's
a little bit.
It's not something that I have to have it, and you like it. We want to believe that everyone has to have it, but it's not something everyone needs every day if they can't. So I think that's where the pandemic was like a difficult time, but it is booming.
Espresso too?
That's my thing. That's
your
our main
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
You Italian? No, you're
I'm not. My husband is, but
Right,
I don't.
right,
but
right,
he's
right.
Italian American. That doesn't really count.
I know,
that
I
doesn't
know,
really
not
count.
Italian.
He's not off the boat, so no.
That's true. That's true. But there's a
right.
million Benincasas in Kingston.
That's
There's
that family. Yeah. That's it.
Been a case, right?
No, we're Benincasa.
Benincasa.
I don't even know the other side. I don't even try to learn it. But
they're.
no, I just think it's booming. But I think what this is all forced, and I'm like Val, I know wanted me to talk about like this has forced us to get into different intricate like parts of the community.
Right.
And I think as she brought up before, you kind of find what you want to get involved in, and like you try not. I think I'm a big believer in being nonpartisan and not getting involved in like politics as a business owner.
Right.
I think that's unattractive to walk into someone's shop and feel like those are pushed on you. But I do feel like in the community right now, like what she was talking about before, and like with our law enforcement, that's something that I've really gotten involved in. Not really because it was something I was seeking out to do. It's just all of my close friends and family now have become, they just so happen to be police officers. They just so happen to, if you walk in my shop, you see patches on my wall. You see,
absolutely.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing too. Like you see, I mean, Tammy Stitt, when I do like a shout out to her because I love her so much, but
the photographer.
She took this really incredible photo of me and some of my good friends and their cops, and I think what like you just said, good for you. But the funny thing about me being pro law enforcement is it's every day when people come in, they see this giant photo of me and all these police officers who happen to be my friends, and they're like, oh, good for you for putting that up there. And I always laugh because I'm like, if I came to your house and I saw a photo of you and your friends, the last thing I would say to you is like, oh, good for you to stick up with your buddies there. Good for you to be in a photo, right?
Are they in uniform?
They're in uniform. So it always takes people, right?
Okay, so that's a little bit different than
totally
if you
different.
have a bunch of friends over saying, okay,
Absolutely.
well, yeah, Tony's got some friends.
I
That's
know.
nice. But so, and not that it identifies you, but you're proud of your association.
I'm super proud. Yeah.
So and I think that's great. And I don't think that, to me, I don't think that has necessarily one thing to do about business or another. It's just your personality.
It's my personality. And I'm lucky enough in this city, like where it's a really tough time for them right now.
Right.
I'm lucky enough that when I look at those photos, like they're in uniform, and I knew what we were doing when we took the photo. It's very powerful. It says a lot about what I believe in and who I believe in. But when I look at that photo, I see, my friends, my family. I see characters. I see humans. And I'm lucky to see that because I don't think everybody sees that in them right now. They're not.
No, exactly.
They're not, that's not who they are right now.
Yeah. Well, again, we talked about this earlier. There's bad actors in every profession. I don't care what it is.
Yes.
You name it, there's some characters that should not be in a lawyer, an engineer, you name it. Doesn't matter, a florist, I don't care. And why would the law enforcement community be any different?
Right.
It's not.
Right.
So it is what it is.
It's just our focus.
And the media picks up on it, and it's, they run with it gigantically and stirs the pot. And so let me redirect a little bit towards the Uptown area. And, that's a very cool area, but a little bit of controversy going on with the Kingstonian and the Pike plan. One of my good buddies is Karen Clark Aden.
Yeah.
So I've known Karen for, I don't know, I'm going to say 30 years, but maybe it's a little bit less than that. But it's a really key area for Kingston.
It is.
It super is. I mean, you can talk about Tech City, and that's a whole nother story. But that Uptown area, I feel like it's coming back. A little bit more vibrancy, more foot traffic, more. The mall is kind of shut down, and maybe more pop-ups. And I say pop-ups in the sense of, some really nice stores going there. See or no? You agree or not?
I do. I think it's we're just so, I don't think that we can identify as anything right now Uptown. We're so random. I think you're getting rid of there's some random retail, then you've killed like 5 businesses in a row, so we have these empty buildings.
That's a bummer.
And then you lose BSP. I love Karen. Karen and I talk every day about how different this is, how different we see it. I don't personally, I don't know where it's headed. I don't think we have an identity at all as Uptown.
That's interesting.
I just don't.
John Perry, another good guy, right?
Another great guy. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he would say either. I feel like you walk outside and you just don't have. I don't know what to call ourselves. I don't know what I see. I don't know who I'm dealing with. I don't know who's moving in, who's moving out. It's a very
kind of mixed bag right now.
It's a very mixed bag. Yeah. It is.
Are you involved much with Cuba, with the Kingston?
No, I'm actually the president of the Kingston Farmers Market.
Oh,
so
you are?
I don't have
that's a big deal.
I know.
That's a big deal.
So we're 9 to 2 every Saturday. We do a winter market, but like right now our summer market's kicked off.
Are you in a parking lot?
We're in the
still?
courthouse parking lot now. Luckily, Pat Ryan kind of saved us and let us and his crew. His office has been amazing to deal with, but we could not any longer do the street, the city. Why can't you? It's a very
it's an off-the-air discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I much prefer to deal with our county exec than our city.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a shame,
I can say
because
that
I
openly.
think, but that was a really great experience.
Oh,
when
I
you
loved
shut
it.
down
I missed
Wall
it.
Street.
Oh,
and
man.
Why can't that come back?
I missed it.
I
We have a
don't
lot
get
of
it.
we have a lot of obstacles to jump, a lot of hoops, a lot of
Have to do with
hurdles.
the pandemic, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
I think it has to do with a lot of things.
A lot of stuff.
I
Okay.
think it has to do with the fact that all of our parking has gone down because we have a lot of parking structures for outdoor seating.
Right.
That we don't necessarily. I personally don't think that we need anymore now that we're 100% capacity.
Yeah.
I don't know why we've lost like 30 spots. I think to tables that don't have any. Nobody's using them currently. Some businesses aren't open every day. So on Saturdays you have these structures that we can't get around, so we can't fit our vendors. And then we still have to socially distance people. So initially moving to the parking lot was for that reason.
Yeah, it made sense.
Now, to me, I would love to be back on the street, but
it's an expansion of their business, like a sidewalk cafe that didn't exist now exists on the pavement.
Right.
I'm not a huge fan of it, quite frankly. I think, but it's a little bit of a leftover from the pandemic that hopefully is, not necessarily going to hang around forever.
I really hope not. We're still rebuilding them. We're still working on them. They're apparently permanent this year.
I mean, they look like structures.
They look
some of
awful.
them.
I would never do that. My neighbors have to survive and have to have parking. If you're going to come get a latte at 8:30 in the morning and you have to circle the block twice. You're not stopping in my shop. You're not, because why would you waste more time?
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it. We went down to my wife and I down to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. And that's happening there too. I mean, you can't find a parking space, and they've, the restaurants there have just taken over the street. I mean, it's, double park, forget. I mean, it just jams everything up. So it was good at the time, but I think it needs to be reevaluated, quite frankly, right? I mean, it's just, but. I think, and the whole Kingstonian thing, hopefully once that gets going, and I know it's going to be a little bit of a long haul.
I mean, I don't know how long that's going to,
I know, you could be in a nursing home before that happens.
It's been a conversation for so long. It's been a fight for so long. We have so many different opinions about something that means a lot of the same thing that people, like, I think it's funny, some people are so against it, but they're so against gentrification in Kingston, which... Yeah. It's different. It's a different Kingston. I haven't lived here my whole life, but it's very different in the last 5 years.
I'm sure your husband's family would tell you that.
Yeah, and now you're against that, but you're for all these other businesses coming up here from the city opening up.
Yeah, that's just contradictory.
Hobby business. It's just...
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It contradicts everything people say they believe in.
But look, people, just give your location again, your hours of operation.
Right.
People need to stop by and see you. I'm going to stop in more often now. I've been there a couple times with some of our friends from the Ulster County Italian American Foundation, along with O Positive. We just kind of hang out a little bit and have some... So we do that, but give some info.
So we're 288 Wall Street. We're right across from the courthouse. We are between the Board of Elections and Schneider's.
Okay.
Right now I'm keeping my hours 7 to 3, Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays we do 8 to 2.
Sunday closed?
Sunday I'm closed. I'm a football girl. If I can't have my Sundays, I know it's not
Bears.
right now.
She's
the
a big
Bears,
fan.
absolutely.
Big Bears fan.
Man. But I mean, I can't
like
have my
Bears.
doors
We're
open.
big Giant fans. So Lawrence has tickets. He goes down to games.
Yeah. We're playing again this year with you guys, against you guys. But
So you know the schedule. You're like when the
schedule
comes out.
I know
schedule. Who's your quarterback this year?
Oh man, so we have. You really want to get into this? So Andy
Mitch.
Dalton. No, it's not. Mitch is gone. He is the backup in Buffalo.
Okay.
Trubisky. I would have sat on him for this
Andy
year because
Dalton?
I think it's
Is that the guy
ridiculous
the
to
Jets
take Andy
had?
Dalton.
And they
No,
drafted Justin Fields. Remember
We have Justin Fields now,
the
but
Giants and the Bears swap picks.
Oh right.
We want the Bears to go 0-16 this year,
do,
or
but
0-17.
you're not going to. We're not going to.
So we
do
get
that
their
for
first
you.
round pick next year.
Who is this guy? We're not going there for you.
He owns the station.
I know, I'm joking. But Justin Fields is so popped up. We have completely gone mad for this dude. It is the second highest selling jersey in the NFL, and he has not played a snap.
Yeah,
we
went through the same thing with Saquon Barkley, 3 years ago?
I know.
He had a great
get
rookie year. He's been a bum since. Hurt all the time.
Yeah, well, he's been hurt. So
I mean, I know
Fields,
opening
the Jets should
day.
have picked Fields, right? The Jets. Why didn't the Jets?
No, the
pick
Jets.
Fields?
No, because they got what's his name? They got Zach Wilson.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like Fields.
Zach Wilson's better.
Yeah,
I
probably, maybe.
Oh.
Jenna's gonna have a little.
Man.
All right.
The Giants haven't won anything in almost 10 years.
But I do think that Justin, we got to start letting people play a snap before we make them our hero. The Bears are terrible with that.
Yeah. So this is good. So you're a football fanatic.
Huge.
And that's good. It's probably good for business too. People come in.
I yell at everybody.
Yeah,
I talk to
that's
everybody
good.
about football. I always
Well, it's
joke
New York,
with,
so you're gonna, Jet Giant.
But you get a lot of dudes who come in and they pretend to talk. They think that they don't know who they're talking to. And
Right.
I
No,
always
you
say
can
in
you
the
can
morning,
talk. You can talk the talk.
I
can see
say, I think it's always really cute when men try to talk about football.
that. Lawrence, we gotta like Jenna. We gotta respect.
Well,
RESPECT.
She's a Bears fan living in New York. So.
Well, that's a minority.
I also was not alive.
Are you from Chicago?
I'm from outside of Chicago, and I wasn't
fair
alive
enough,
for
then.
the Super Bowl.
You're allowed to be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive for the Super Bowl.
You know how many friends I have that are Cowboy and Yankee fans? They grew up in Kingston.
I
They've
know.
lived in New York all their life. They're Cowboy fans.
I
can't
know.
stand them.
Well, those people you can't trust anyway.
What, Cowboy fans? Yeah,
Gross.
probably right.
I mean, listen, I'm an NFC North.
All right,
fanatic,
Uptown
but-
Coffee. Go there. Meet Jenna.
Yeah, come
have
in.
some fun there. It's a great place to hang out. Bring your laptop. Just chit chat with folks. Going to start serving lunch again. Great place for a cup of coffee. Just figure out what's going on in Kingston.
Yeah.
Jenna Benincasa, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. I'm going to stop by now
Thanks
more
for having
often. My office not too far. Norman Staffing right around the corner, and I'll be in.
I'll come back for football season.
Cool. After the Giants and Bears play.
Yeah, they play in January though. I'm not waiting that long.
Wait, they don't. When do they play in January?
Third.
Really?
I say? Mark me. 2nd or 3rd. It's like a last game.
No, the Giants' last game is against the Redskins. I must have missed that. They
All right,
played last year.
Check it out. I might be
week 2.
wrong. I just know it's Monday Night Football against the Steelers.
Everybody
on my
be
birthday.
kind to
check it
everybody.
out.
Go out and do a random act of kindness for somebody, please.
Absolutely.
All right, all the best.